The year 2010, a new foundation lifts off into existence with one prime directive: to venture into the unexplored vastness of possibility in search of new realities. Realities which, once discovered, change perspective, generate connective tissues, bringing people and organizations into new relationships, impacting lives in ways positive, additive, and joyous. The foundation, the legacy of Dorothy Patterson, was chartered with the freedom to become, to change, to evolve, to flex, to ebb and flow, to create, to respond, to invent, and to reinvent. Let's go on a mission and get a close-up view of the Patterson Foundation. Honoring and onward.
A rocket on the pad is safe, but this is not why rocket ships are built. The Patterson Foundation lifted off for the undefined in 2010.
Houston, this is New Realities. All systems are go.
Have a range clear launch.
And CDR.
Now suppression water system armed. T-minus 5, 4.
Start. 2, 1. Boost ignition and liftoff.
The Patterson Foundation begins its journey into the unexplored vastness of possibilities.
Powered by enduring values and principles, and committed to undertaking philanthropic work in new and innovative ways. Venturing into the undiscovered, unproven paradigms for a new philanthropy required the courage to leave the security of tradition behind.
Mrs. Patterson did not leave us any directions on how the money was to be spent. That was good, but that was also bad because we had to kind of channel her to try to figure out what she would have wanted us to do.
The governing board embraced the opportunity with the valor of the Voyager. They debated words. They wanted to be sure that they selected phrases that would be long-standing and be pillars to guide us on this journey ahead. Like dilithium crystals, they are three-dimensional values with inexhaustible energy that will propel us for the now and for generations to come. She gave us immense flexibility, opportunity, and responsibility to have an impact. And the way we've crafted it and kind of packaged it is we are all about realizing aspirations. We come from a place of the future. Even though we work in the now, it's all about helping to create the future through people, organizations, and communities. What excites me so much about everyone that we work with at the Patterson Foundation, somehow the values weave in to conversations.
Being accessible and engaged.
Learn and collaborate.
Commitment and persistence.
Embracing new ideas.
Joyful stewardship. Lasting impact.
Manage assets responsibly.
Shared aspirations.
Venturing into the undiscovered, unproven paradigms for a new philanthropy required the courage to leave the security of tradition behind, to fly into the unknown, to be open to learning the unexpected lessons and ready to adapt to the unanticipated consequences that present themselves to all explorers.
We began with 9 legacy initiatives. Why 9? There's 9 planets are in our solar system, each with a different orbit, a different size, a different atmosphere, but part of a system where we could learn. We knew these initiatives wouldn't be our long-term work, but we understood from our home planets they would provide us learning opportunities that in fact shaped how the Patterson Foundation connects, learns, shares, evolves, and strengthens individuals, organizations, and community.
The Patterson Foundation has no grant applications and no grant cycles. We do participate in charitable partnerships, which are for a relatively long time, partnerships which are innovative, transformational, and sustainable.
These 9 legacy initiatives were inspired by the lives of Dorothy and Jim Patterson and the family business. The TPF initiative, Bringing Science Home, invested $5.9 million to inspire people living with chronic illness, including type 1 diabetes, to live full lives.
Miss Virginia Nicole Johnson is Miss America 1999.
Nicole Johnson, Miss America 1999, a person who charted remarkable success living with type 1 diabetes, was the executive director of this initiative.
One of the things that we did was really focused in on parents and creating educational tools that help them deal with the stress of having a child with a chronic condition like diabetes. Bringing Science Home started because of the generosity of the Patterson Foundation.
The legacy initiatives were intentionally selected to honor the source of the wealth that created the foundation and some of the aspects of the family's life. Dorothy had a valiant journey with rheumatoid arthritis. She was passionate about her independence, thus the Aging with Dignity and Independence initiative and the Caregiver Connect. Jim and his dad, Captain Patterson, were passionate about the power of visual, whether it was cartoons or whether it was photography. So working with Ringling College of Art and Design to create the collaboratory was a must-do. And then there was Dorothy's friendship with Sister Lucia Haas at Cardinal Mooney High School.
So what's going on today?
Kickoff celebration for our campaign.
Patterson Foundation is a new undertaking in the Sarasota community. It certainly has blessed Cardinal Mooney High School.
This is a facsimile of a check for $1 million.
I'm very grateful to the Patterson Foundation for the $1 million named in my honor. I'm very humbled by it. I feel it should be Dorothy's honor.
I had many wonderful times with Dorothy, and I will always treasure her friendship. Dorothy is the one who should receive the honor.
You know, I got to know Dorothy after Jim passed away. We had a lot of good times together in the 15 years. She was just really a very wonderful person, you know, and I think when she died, she put it all in the foundation.
This $1 million creates the Sister Lucia Haas Scholarship Endowment. For every dollar that anyone else contributes, Patterson will match dollar for dollar up to $1 million.
But of all the original 9 planets the Patterson rocket explored, Patriot Plaza best embodies the concepts of connecting, learning, sharing, evolving, and strengthening. With an investment of $12 million and a groundbreaking partnership with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs National Cemetery Administration, Patriot Plaza underwent a radical evolution in development.
John Berteau was riding his motorcycle out here one day on Clark Road and looked over here and saw the cemetery coming up. Deborah Jacobs and I came out here and talked to Sandra Beckley, who was then the cemetery director. She's the one who actually opened the cemetery.
They set up seats for 1,000 people for the groundbreaking and dedication ceremony, but an hour before it began, all those seats were full and it was already standing room only.
We have 295 acres. The first development will be 60 acres.
The serendipity of Sarasota National Cemetery's groundbreaking in July in 2008, when there was no shade and no seats, sparked the idea of, is there something the Patterson Foundation could do that would provide shade and seats? So the idea of an amphitheater came to being.
We thought maybe a shelter for special events might be appropriate. So the idea of an amphitheater was born. Sandy retired and came to work for the Patterson Foundation to be our initiative manager for that project. So the three of us went up to Washington and met with the Department of Veteran Affairs. And they had never had anybody propose anything like this to them. They had never had anybody want to give them anything.
Because government funds good, but philanthropy funds imaginative excellence. Well, that imagination blossomed.
We can, we will.
And we've been taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. We've been taking care of business. It's all mine. Taking care of business. We've been working overtime, piano man.
You see the bolts going up through the glass. There is no tolerance to be wrong. All the glass here, each piece is different than the piece next to it. It's a very, very, very custom project.
We went from a very basic concept of an amphitheater to, quite frankly, an artistic view of what shade and seats would mean to the 100,000 veterans in this area.
We had the Legacy of Valor campaign project that went forward to initiate the opening of it. About 13 months of celebration of veterans.
We are part of Legacy of Valor in Southwest Florida, and we are asking you to help us pass Freedom On.
Every day, veterans and their families across Southwest Florida make personal sacrifices to protect our freedom. Join us in our mission to honor and support them.
Many Legacy of Valor community partners have been creating awareness and support and honoring our veterans.
Welcome to Booker Middle School, where we speak about freedom and country.
My name is Cedric Hamid, and I'm a spoken word artist, and I had the pleasure of working with Legacy of Valor, Booker Middle School, and FST on a spoken word project with these middle school students.
My name is Daquan Lee, and I'm reading I'm Proud to Be an American.
Honor our veterans.
Embrace freedom.
Inspire patriotism.
The Patterson Foundation has partnered with Thunder on the Bay for the Legacy of Valor ride today. And we are thrilled that this region chooses to partner to honor veterans, inspire patriotism, and embrace freedom.
This morning, it's a period of celebration, it's noise, it's happiness, it's people greeting people and saying, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, it's great to see you. So that's the spirit today. But the underlying spirit is pride of country, pride of service, and pride of the American life.
The Patterson Foundation is just over the moon at the excitement that everything has been generated by Legacy of Valor and Patriot Plaza being built out there.
Let's ride.
That's right.
This plaza is a celebration for those who paid the highest price to be called American. But this plaza is also a celebration of those who are actively doing the work to make sure that their memory is never forgotten.
We are sustainable. The Veterans Administration will provide for the maintenance. The Patterson Foundation has created an endowment in perpetuity for the rejuvenation of Patriot Plaza.
Interestingly, I have a personal connection to Patriot Plaza. It is true. One of my biggest supporters was the editor of the Chicago Tribune, Joseph Medill. In fact, Joseph always said he bought the Tribune for two reasons. One was to make money, and the second was to support the presidential campaign of Abraham Lincoln.
The Patterson Foundation worked with the Sarasota County Arts Alliance to create an entire program where there would be trained guides that would give tours to people out at the Patriot Plaza. And that evolved into how could we also engage students. So Ed Explorations were created so that students at every grade would be able to experience Patriot Plaza and the rich history and art and imagery and feeling about understanding service and sacrifice.
Become a scientist.
What gets these young explorers so excited? All the opportunities they have to learn from the world-class artists and scientists who live and work in our community.
When the Patterson Foundation came to us, they brought to us the idea of figuring out a way to allow more of our students to take part in these cultural assets here in our community.
We created an eHarmony platform that's a matchmaker between the standards the teachers are teaching in the classroom and these exciting, wonderful experiences.
You know, in the classroom, they hear the teacher, and the teacher's sort of like, wah, wah, you know, and they come here, and it's hands-on, and they get to live it and see it. And the excitement, as you can see, has been unreal.
Partnering with the Community Foundation of Sarasota County and the Education Foundation, our Sarasota County students receive unique and powerful experiences distinguishing a Sarasota County education from all others. Following our core tenet of evolving, what began as the Aging with Dignity and Independence initiative evolved to become the age-friendly movement, an entirely new galaxy of opportunity for connecting people, business, nonprofit, government, and media.
Because the reality is we are blessed with the opportunity to live longer, healthier, active lives. And with that comes opportunities to really engage, give back to our community, discover new things about ourselves, take on new careers or new hobbies. And we need a community that supports that.
And it's kind of back to the connectivity and the connective tissue, because so many things are tied to one another.
This sharing symposium is allowing the entire state of age-friendly communities and those entering into the network to meet with each other, share things with each other, connect with each other, and determine what we need to move us all forward.
Everybody in town realizes what a valuable resource we have, that we should become a living laboratory here that the rest of the country comes and studies.
So not only continue to make it a great place for people in the retired categories, but also to embrace younger people in the arts, because that's our future. And I think anything we can do to help both sides of that equation is going to be very important to everyone.
And one of the shining stars of the new age-friendly movement was the 2017 Age-Friendly Festival.
We, the Board of County Commissioners of Sarasota County, Florida, do hereby proclaim October 28, 2017 to be Age-Friendly Festival Day. Congratulations.
I have to say, from this morning with the balloon arch and the VIPs and the drumline from Sarasota Military Academy, and the energy throughout the campus at the fairgrounds was actually, it gave you goosebumps. The vibe in Robards Arena, their intense visits and connections, the entertainment tent, and really had the audiences engaged. And then the education. There are people who came just for certain sessions.
Make sure that you work with a lawyer to create something that's legally effective, but that's custom to you.
And it was full with wonderful questions and interaction. This was a gift to the community from the Patterson Foundation. No one had to pay anything to participate, no fees to anyone who participated, but everybody did give of their time, imagination, and energy to create this country's first age-friendly festival.
The New Media Journalism Legacy Initiative was created to honor the Patterson Foundation's legacy with the vibrant newspaper business. With thought leaders, we convened discussions around the evolving nature of journalism in the 21st century. And like the age-friendly movement, this initiative has evolved into the current work called Aspirations Journalism.
Aspirations Journalism established a groundbreaking partnership between the Patterson Foundation and the Herald Tribune Media Group to share stories encouraging people to realize their power to initiate positive change.
Campaign for Grade Level Reading is a great example of aspirations journalism because in it we're describing a problem that faces the community. It's children not being able to read at a certain grade level. We know that has tremendous impact on their future, and we've affected change even in things such as funding for pre-K education that wasn't a really fair formula or up-to-date formula, and as a result of some of our reporting, there's been legislation that has shifted that around. The generosity in this community is amazing, the brain power in this community is amazing, and really the key to success is pulling those people together and getting them passionate about a topic. And once you do that, as Patterson is so adept at doing, you can just see the results.
Learning how important it is to work with people, business, nonprofits, government, and media, the Patterson Foundation created Aspirations to Action.
A lot of folks who start on one pathway jump to a different one once they get going because they realize there are opportunities in other places they hadn't seen before that open up.
Working with national thought leaders to bring best practices to our local community.
A sense that we can come together and get things done, a sense that we can deepen our belief that we have the capabilities, the wisdom, the know-how to get things done. And I think what this lab here in Sarasota and Manatee counties is about is equipping people with the mindset, the tools, the practices that'll enable them to accelerate and deepen their good work and to bring people together to move the community forward.
And in our earlier discussion this morning, we were talking about maybe going to the Boys and Girls Clubs or the YMCA after-school programs where the teens are and having those conversations where they are, where they may not come into the library, where you can hold a community conversation.
I think it also opens the door for a more collaborative, not as so much as against them, which mentality, which so often we fall into, I think.
To be able to engage them, to find out what their aspirations are, and then move that aspiration into action is absolutely transformational. So it has been just so cool to watch that happen this week.
There's a direct correlation between the level and extent of nursing education and the quality of care they provide. The Suncoast Nursing Action Coalition convenes regional healthcare organizations, nursing schools, and community members providing tools and resources to strengthen this regional response to the national movement.
Charles Bauman and I formed the SNAC organization, or the Suncoast Nursing Action Coalition, about 6 years ago. We had no traditional nursing programs for BSNs in this area. We now have 5 with our partnership and facilitation of local schools providing BSN programs in this area where we had none. We are really promoting a higher level of highly trained Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degrees to give care to our communities. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Patterson Foundation, and a very special thanks from Charles, myself, and all of the SNAC members to Deborah Gervreau. She has been our guiding light for our pathway through our successful years of SNAC.
Disasters and calamities are just a part of life. Some we bring on ourselves, some are economic, some are caused by Mother Nature.
By the time we thought we should leave, it was too late.
We had no communication. We couldn't call nobody.
The storm stayed on top of us for 51 hours.
Everything in my home got destroyed. Everything. I lost everything.
The Patterson Foundation works with two national organizations, the Center for Disaster Philanthropy and NetHope.
So that was a collaboration where we ended up joining with many very large organizations, Microsoft, etc., that we would have never ever collaborated with, in ways to go ahead and deal with the disaster relief. And this was a very innovative approach to basically work with NGOs, create a network that we would be able to basically airdrop in a wireless network, internet, so that we could have communication in that disaster region, and in so doing exponentially impact the goods delivered.
We internally describe ourselves as the 365-day-a-year resource to philanthropy about disasters. Recovery following Hurricane Katrina or the South Asian tsunami. We can talk about a famine that may be happening across the Sahel or current Ebola outbreak in Congo. It is that permanent resource to philanthropy around disasters and how to effectively play a role in disaster recovery.
Helping families stay afloat through tough times is the goal of Season of Sharing, but this year marks the most need ever in the program's 9-year history.
On the brink of homelessness is someplace no one wants to be. With local unemployment in the double digits and the foreclosure rates setting record highs, families in Southwest Florida are searching for emergency assistance.
One of our major focus through Relieve is Season of Sharing. This 4-county initiative is a way for everyone in the region to become a philanthropist. Patterson made the commitment that we will support Season of Sharing because it's a way for us to have our dollars reach individuals and families who are in economic crisis.
I can't get a second job. I have little children at home. And then when you find a program like Season of Sharing, and they're there for you. It's not something that, I'm sitting back and expecting anything. It's something that I really needed.
The Patterson Foundation's focus on new realities has truly been transformational for this community and beyond. And it was time for us to begin to innovate, begin to look at ways that we could build on the program and strengthen the program. And the Patterson Foundation has inspired us to do that.
As Patterson pursues its work, we often talk about we are here to build connective tissue to create new realities.
With the wealth generated from the innovative media empire, the Patterson Foundation embraced the idea of nonprofit thrivability. So, in 2015, the Patterson Foundation set its sights on exploring opportunities for our not-for-profit organizations to diversify their income with profit-generating activities. We engaged the consulting firm, No Margin, No Mission, to provide expertise, webinars, and labs to help participating not-for-profits discover unconsidered earned income opportunities.
We believe thrivability is absolutely important to every nonprofit, especially as they look at their future and opportunities for growth and expansion.
Spend another about 3.5 months helping them with implementation of their business plan, and then we'll spend a year with them after that, doing some coaching, mentoring, tracking, monitoring.
There are not very many places where you can go to participate in an initiative like this that is supported by a philanthropic organization, a foundation like the Patterson Foundation.
One great example was Lighthouse Vision Loss Education Center, who redesigned and rebranded their retail store products for the low vision market. They called it Peepers.
Holy cow!
The Patterson Foundation's Margin and Mission Ignition has made a huge difference in the awareness of the store for the people who need the items in our store, didn't know we were here before, and has created, increased the revenue that we earn in the stores.
For those of you who have been through the Margin and Mission Ignition business planning process with Larry and Mike, you know that it's intense. For those of you who haven't, it can best be described as childbirth. Kind of like being in labor for 3 months. In fact, when you're done with the process, you're so excited, well, We actually have some footage when we got the confirmation from Larry that our business plan was complete. Yes, Larry. Okay, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Ladies, the business plan is done! Thanks to the Margin and Mission Ignition opportunity presented by the Patterson Foundation, Neuro Challenge Foundation for Parkinson's is going to transform healthcare experiences for people with Parkinson's in our community and beyond.
One of the Patterson Foundation's initiatives to strengthen nonprofits is the Giving Partner and the Giving Challenge.
3, 2, 1. $13.4 million raised in 24 hours seems impossible.
Cheers to over $6 million raised by over 74,000 donors for the Giving Challenge.
This year there's over 62,000 donations. This says that the philanthropic muscle in this community is growing ever stronger.
The Patterson Foundation matched $25 minimum and $100 maximum per Giving Challenge donor.
Each year the Patterson Foundation learns lessons. And our recent one-to-one match, up to $100 with no cap, is actually a risky investment, but that's what philanthropy is supposed to do.
And the Patterson Foundation's generous match opportunity will again stimulate, inspire, motivate people to give, and it will touch so many nonprofits.
The Patterson Foundation matched the $6.1 million raised by the donors, making the final dollar amount $11.4 million.
And it is exhilarating to watch the success of organizations.
All Faiths Food Bank beat their amount raised in 2015. Their total in this year's challenge is $73,412.
On behalf of all the children, their families, all the families that will be nourished this year, thank you.
And sometimes, while exploring interstellar possibilities, you come across a phenomenon so vast and significant, you see immediately it will require years to plumb its opportunities and achieve its full impact.
The Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading is a growing regional movement intent on our children succeeding. The commitment and alignment of strong community partners like the School District and Early Learning Coalition of Manatee County, Sarasota County School District and Department of Health, public housing Head Start programs, county governments, county libraries, the media, local businesses, philanthropists, and individuals have created a movement that evolves, where parents are the heroes, children are the joyful achievers, and families are at the center.
What we see is the leadership, the dedication, the imagination, and the work ethic.
The Suncoast Campaign is proud to share its assets. You know, we're all about connective tissue building and learning and sharing.
We were approached by the Patterson Foundation, which had been working with Sarasota, and so we've become this regional grade level reading initiative.
And now, on with the show.
Welcome to GLR Week in Philadelphia.
You know, every year at the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading, it's exciting. But this year it's even more exciting because in addition to Sarasota and Manatee County, who've been together from the beginning, we've now added Charlotte County officially and DeSoto County's coming on in.
Brain building moments. 300 families in Sarasota and Manatee counties became Vroom pioneers.
Great app to teach me how to do things that involve him on his level.
Something to do with them instead of breaking my head on Google trying to find something for their age.
My son and I have fun with the activities of Vroom, right, Papa? Say yes.
Yeah. One of his favorite ones was the silly face. The silly faces, he loved to do the silly face. Avery, you gonna do it? Yeah.
I vroom. Vroom!
The Vroom pilot has been funded by the Patterson Foundation.
And they're making a huge push out here in the community for all these kids so that they're able to read at that third grade level so that they can be successful.
We can be superheroes anonymously.
We're giving students tools that they can use over the summer that will help them increase their literacy, exposure to letters and sounds and print, and we know that these are the kinds of things that help to prepare students for being successful in kindergarten.
Coming to school every day is so important.
Strive for less than 5 days absent. Strive for less than 5. Don't miss school, don't fall behind. Stay on track, enrich your mind. Strive for less than 5 days absent.
Good morning, glad you're here.
Strive for less than 5.
Yeah!
Man, look at this, the Patterson Foundation.
This is the Suncoast campaign for grade level reading.
I understand, Pam, they have almost 500 people. Sure.
Thanks to the Patterson Foundation, we have school-level winners from 10 elementary schools in Charlotte County and 3 elementary schools in DeSoto County, celebrating the fact that they created unique pieces of art that are hanging in their schools, encouraging every child to go to school every day.
Let me tell you something, boys. Every day counts.
Every day counts.
Just prior to this meeting, 13 regional winners from Manatee County were awarded brand new iPads.
The message is very clear. We want kids in school, and it's very important for all of them to attend on a regular basis.
Here at the Supermat in Newtown, and we are just providing free laundry today for 3 hours together with the Laundry Project because we just want to be good neighbors. It's the right thing to do, and we want to show our people, our community, that we care.
I'm surprised at this. I didn't even know this was going to happen.
They just can't believe it. First it's shock, and then it's awe.
I'm loving this. We're giving families a great opportunity to save some money.
Probably like $40, $50.
You pay $35 a week with all 4 of my kids.
I threw everything I could in the baskets. I didn't care what it was. I almost threw my son in there. But this is a blessing.
The Patterson Foundation, we feel really grateful to have been included and invited, and it's fantastic to see how we can work as one and feel the power of we.
Mind in the Making is really a transformational learning journey for families, for professionals, that really helps adults understand what the child development research is and really look at themselves first and what impact they're having on the children that they care for, their own children.
We are now up to 1,000 graduates that have gone through our Mind in the Making program.
Anyone who has interactions with any child could benefit from this. I think just life skills that all of us, I think, can improve upon that have the ability to transform our communities.
And if we can get them the health care that they need and their moms and dads the information they need, they can start school ready to learn.
I'm Reed and this is Kelly, and we're with the Suncoast Campaign for Grade Level Reading. And we're at the Central Bradenton Library because Ray's Star Third Baseman, Evan Longoria, is reading to kids today.
Friday is my favorite day. It's my favorite day too.
Dive into Reading was created by Anna Maria Oyster Bar restaurant owners John and Amanda Horn. They opened one of their restaurants weekday mornings for 4 weeks in the summer.
He's read 1,642 books.
The Patterson Foundation, who facilitated all of this. I mean, such a fantastic job that they do in our community by getting people together to actually work on problems like this.
It's because of the hard work of the Horns and all of the partners coming together that our children are celebrating success.
More than 300 individuals representing 90 summer camps and programs on the Suncoast of Florida in Charlotte, DeSoto, Manatee, and Sarasota counties spent the day learning and sharing and strengthening their abilities to combat the summer slide. Each participating location held at least 2 events each week designed to inspire children to complete the challenge. Total books read, an astounding 198,570 books.
My hope is that we can reenact that motion with the hands up, so I can take lots of pictures and I can tweet those with everybody reaching for the stars. Put your arms down till I get there. Okay, coming a little bit here. Oh, this is more darn fun.
The collaboration and the energy that's here is so exciting. Each breakfast that I attend, I get more excited and my spirit is lifted for the things that the whole community comes together to do.
In the universe, new stars form and reform through the ages. Through an extraordinary effort soliciting community ideas and concepts, Sarasota has come together to define its desired aspiration for the development of 53 acres of invaluable city property on the Sarasota Bayfront.
And the governing board of the Patterson Foundation feels it is our responsibility and opportunity to continue to support the work of what is now called the Bay Park Conservancy for our park at Bay. Patterson Foundation will make a check of $2 million to propel forward phase 1 in operations of the Bay. Then every time the community contributes $5 million, we will contribute another $1 million.
This is a game changer. I'm surprised and yet not surprised that the Patterson Foundation has once again challenged the community to make this dream a realization. I'm speechless. I keep getting goosebumps. So I think this could truly be the beginning of the Bay.
Those of us at the Bay are deeply thankful to the Patterson Foundation, its board, and Deborah for the expression of commitment that they made to the Bay today.
They are multipliers. Every piece of work that they do is about multiplying the effect, and this one's going to do precisely that.
The contribution that makes, the stimulus that it will give us to raise the money that we need to implement the first phase of this amazing park is just, I mean, it blows my mind, so I couldn't be more excited.
In the future, when someone throws up a picture of Sarasota, they're going to throw up a picture of this site, and it's going to be the biggest attraction that we have in this community. How do you not invest in that?
Always looking to the future, the Patterson Foundation is very excited about its partnership with the Indiana University Lilly School of Philanthropy, where we have developed the Fellows Program. This will allow us to work with emerging philanthropic leaders and propel them out into the field after they have spent a year here learning about TPF approaches and tenets and working in community with organizations and making a difference. We are thrilled with our inaugural TPF Fellow, Hannah Sager-Karnai.
I'm honored to be the inaugural fellow here at the Patterson Foundation. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I know it will be invaluable as I look towards my future in the philanthropic sector.
Over the past 10 years, the Patterson Foundation has invested $100 million in people, organizations, and communities. And it only happens with people working very hard, sharing values, being passionate about knowing they can make a difference. And we are honored, we are humbled that we work with people who we call passionaries or possibilitarians. The Patterson Foundation's success is directly attributable to every person who's been involved on an initiative, as a leader, as a communicator, as an engager. You have made the difference, and we are ever grateful. We're also, as we're looking into the future, we want to continue to work in community with everyone who shares aspirations of excellence.
The Patterson Foundation began its search 10 years ago in the desire to find and explore new frontiers. The wealth initiating the foundation grew from the same impulse, an embrace of innovation, creativity, new technologies, and a future vision. It should come as no surprise then that the foundation would be founded on those very same impulses. We commit to initiatives. That word was not lightly chosen. Initiative implies leadership, independence, and self-actualization. The Patterson Foundation's unique, panoramic philanthropy addresses individual, organizational, community, and global issues from a comprehensive and systematic vision. Our initiatives encourage people and organizations to step out, to leave the comfort of their home planets, and to find new futures by challenging assumptions, communicating in new ways, and collaborating with new partners. In its first 10 years, the Patterson Foundation has learned to embrace its prime directive, to explore the unexplored, and to invest in the vast potential of the human imagination. We are at home in the intergalactic space, undertaking work in ways that others are not doing, cannot do, or simply will not do. We are free and unbound by gravity, and we are joyful in our search for ways to tap the infinite potential to thrive in our own humanity.